friends, welcome back to my channel. Today, I can't believe this, but I am talking about the final book in the Three Dark Crowns series. It is Five Dark Fates. It took me, admittedly, a very long time to read this book. I got a whole special collaboration box from, I think, Beacon Book Club that I paid a pretty price for. And so I have a signed first edition, and I got it right around the time that it released in September of 2019, but it took me like a year and a half to read it. Here's why. A couple of reasons. One, I was in grad school, and that last year of my EDS program kicked my butt. It was so intense. And oh yeah, then a pandemic hit, which made it even harder to complete, whatever. Then I will tell you, admittedly, I don't do well with conclusions. I historically don't like the end book in a book series. Unpopular opinion, I don't like the last Harry Potter book. I just feel like it was kind of in some ways like a cop-out, a very predictable cop-out. I could do a whole video on that. Percy Jackson, didn't love the ending of the Percy Jackson series. I felt like that was pretty played out. Wasn't a fan of the final book in the Divergent series. Wasn't a big fan of the way the Hunger Games ended. Like, got a long list of book series that I just don't like the end of, but I am happy to tell you I do not feel that way about this. I think Five Dark Fates was a really powerful finale book, and I very much appreciated the way Kendare Blake chose to end the entire series. I am not going to, in this book review, talk about the other books in the series. I have a whole fangirl video about that I will link up here in the cards if you'd like to go see it. I will also tell you that I might engage in some spoiler talk here, so if you haven't read this book, you better click out now, read it, and then come on back and hear my thoughts. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So basically, what we're dealing with in the final installment is you still have your three competing sisters alive. Now, granted, Catherine has been crowned queen, and she's like living her life, doing her queenly stuff, but it's clearly not going well, and you still have the two other sisters alive, which is unhistoric. It's not supposed to happen. So going into this book, I'm going to be honest with you, I really thought that Kendare Blake was going to keep all three of the characters alive the whole time and just sort of like come up with some loophole that makes it some kind of nice happy ending, and thank goodness we did not get that. We do have one of our main characters die, and I will tell you that I commend that choice to kill off a main character, especially knowing that all three of them had very different fan bases and very strong followings. To know that you were going to anger potentially a whole like pocket of readers, I commend that approach. And I'll be honest, I think it was most fitting for Mirabella to be killed. The one complaint I have about her death is it didn't feel, when it happened, it didn't feel real. I felt like her death, I was like, oh, she'll make a comeback. Like, this doesn't feel, like her death didn't feel super fitting for who her character was. But aside from that, like, I'm still glad she died. I think it was important to move the plot forward, and I think that was a wise choice in the arc of the storytelling that was occurring in there. It gave the ability for both Catherine and Arsinoe to be able to become stronger, more independent, more developed characters. I also really liked the way Catherine's death played out. I thought her choice to have her death be somewhat sacrificial is just like, I thought it was a good like, full story for her. I think it showed that, yeah, she made some bad choices, and yeah, she was kind of like a slippery character, but she did have some redeeming pieces to her that I really liked. And while I don't think I would necessarily say I was Arsinoe's biggest fan, I did like that she got to be alive in the end. She's not unscathed, but the fact that she got to be alive at the end, I thought worked. I just, in truth, felt like the way the story played out, I was a fan of. The only other thing I didn't like besides the way Mirabella was killed was I didn't like that we were told the ending like randomly. Like just randomly. Like I just felt like all of a sudden when we were told like, I've seen the future and the future is this and like that's how it's gonna be, I was like, wait, what? Why are you telling us that? Like, is it gonna really be that way? And then when it ended up being that way, I was like, now I'm even more annoyed that you told us the ending, because like I want some surprise, I want some mystery, but all in all, I will say, I know I haven't talked a lot about like what this book is. I'm more giving you my like reactions to it. All in all, I think it was well done. I enjoyed having this finale book. And like I mentioned at the very start, I don't tend to like finale books. There are actually 2 other book series sitting, probably more than that, but there are at least 2 that I can think of right now that are sitting on this bookshelf that I have not pursued because I'm afraid that I'm not going to like the ending and don't want to ruin like my feelings for the books that I have right now. I'll eventually get over it like I did with this one, but so far one of my best finale videos, and it's been a really long time since I have been enraptured by a book series the way I was with this. I swallowed these books. I thought they were so compelling. I thought the plots were very unique and very different, and I just love the world that Kendare Blake built. I haven't looked into anything else she's written. I know that she has quite a bit of other content that she has put out there into the world, but I haven't really felt compelled to pursue it. I'm not really sure why, but this is just a knockout series. Definitely recommend it, and as somebody who tends to be a hater of the finale books, for me to have been swung this way, I think really speaks highly of how well Kendare Blake envisioned the ending and then executed it in her writing. So that's it. That's it for me and this book review. I hope you enjoyed hearing my thoughts. If you are a lover of Three Dark Crowns, I would love to know your thoughts on the whole series / like your thoughts on the ending. I'm very, very curious. And there are not enough people in my life who have read this. I like tell people about it and they're like, okay, weirdo, you go read your adult literature. But like this to me was truthfully exceptional. So I would love to be able to converse with more people about this amazing book series. But that's it for me. I will talk to you in the next video.